friends, welcome back. I'm glad to have you with me. Today's video is on morning routines. Morning routines maybe sound a bit silly, like maybe I'm making a mistake. Maybe it's supposed to be bedtime routines. No, it's not a mistake. I'm actually talking about a morning routine. Think about yourselves, guys. How do you get up in the morning? Maybe just take a minute to reflect back on what does that look like for you. I'm not even talking about your kids yet. Let's just talk about you. What does your morning look like? Right? We want to be intentional around our morning routines because our morning sets up the whole day. So how do I get up in the morning? What am I doing in the morning? Do I have time for myself in the morning? Am I able to collect myself? Collecting myself is a term that comes from the GPS within. For those of you who don't know me, or maybe this is the first time watching one of my videos, I have developed a model called the GPS within together with my partner, Rivka Klein. You can find more information about that under the gpswithin.com. So I'll leave you with that. But collecting ourselves means fueling ourselves. Okay? How do we fuel ourselves? Because we have to fill ourselves up, right? Think about it. As a parent, or even just as a human being, we're giving all day long, especially as a parent. Giving. Where are we giving from? Where does it come from? It comes from inside. So in order for us to have what to give, we need to make sure that we're filling ourselves. So when do we fill ourselves? The morning is a perfect opportunity for that. And obviously it happens throughout the day and it happens before bed. And there's many times we're going to become intentional about fueling ourselves, hopefully, so that we can give from a place of fullness and not give from somewhere empty. Okay? So in the morning, that's the most natural time that you would want to fuel yourself because you're getting ready for the day. So think about how many of you are getting ripped out of bed, literally ripped out of bed. You don't have a second to yourself before you need to start giving. And that's a recipe for disaster. So morning routines right now, we're talking about for our children, but I'm also first just putting the spotlight on ourselves. What does that look like for you? You want to be intentional about showing up on a full tank. And if you get ripped out of bed because somebody woke you up, then there's nothing for you to give. So we want to be intentional about how we wake up and how we set up our mornings. That means, guys, you got to get up before your children. I know this is probably the worst part of the video. Don't turn it off. It gets better, I promise. But you got to get up before your child. You have to think about what your child is receiving. If we're thinking always, we always want to be thinking about our children, right? We're always doing things because we love them so much and we just want to be the best version of ourselves. But what is the best version of yourself? It's showing up after you filled yourself up. That doesn't mean now that you need to get up an hour before your child, although it could. I actually get up at 5 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m. and I wake up my kids at 7. And I have 2 hours to myself in the morning. And those 2 hours, I would not trade them for the world. That's my time. There is nothing going on during that time. There's no phone, there's no distractions, nobody needs me, nobody's pulling at me, nothing's going on. It's me, and I get to do whatever I want during those 2 hours. So maybe I'll do a meditation, maybe I'll stretch, maybe I'll exercise, maybe I'll read, maybe I'll journal. I don't know, endless possibilities of what I can do to fuel myself. But those moments are precious, and I would rather get up early and not have that extra sleep than get up, with no time for myself. Then it's like I'm rushed the second I get up. I have to hurry and take care of everyone, and hurry and make sure everybody's off for their days, and then hurry, get to work. And what about me? Where does the me take place? Because guys, we're not going to be the best version of ourselves if we're just taking care of everybody else. We need to take care of ourselves. So the first thing here is, I kind of went off maybe on a little bit of a tangent because it's very dear to me, you guys can tell, but morning routines are precious, and don't skip over that for yourself because then you are compromising on your own well-being. And maybe I'll go off on another tangent, but children learn about relationships by watching us. So you have a relationship with yourself, and how do you treat that relationship with yourself? What is your child observing? Do you take time for yourself? Do you take care of yourself? Do you put yourself first when you need to? Because if not, then they're learning that you don't matter. And they're also learning when they grow up that they won't matter so much as long as they're just giving. So think about all those underlying messages. I love to think about that all the time. Whatever I'm doing, I'm thinking, Dory, is there an underlying message there that you're giving to your kids? And if so, what is it? What are they experiencing from you? What are they taking away from what you're doing? Because we are teaching every moment. We're not just teaching when we say things. We're teaching just by being. So how are you being? So let's get back now. I promise I won't go off on another tangent. So what is a morning routine, guys? A morning routine is an opportunity for connection. Routines are opportunities for connection. Routines are not a sequence of events, okay? So when I ask people, what's your bedtime routine? And they go to me, well, we come home, then we have dinner, then we take a bath, and then we put our PJs on, and then, we read a song or say a prayer, and then we go to bed. That's not a routine. That's a sequence of events. A routine is intentionally filling our child up so that we can connect with them. And you guys know that I'm all about connection. And this is a big part of what connection is these routines that we set up for our children. And when they become routine, they have what to count on. So we're talking about a morning opportunity for connection. Okay? You guys are probably thinking, who has time for connection in the morning? We got to get up, we got to get out. I'm not saying you got to take a half an hour for this. It could be a few minutes, but you're intentional about connecting with your child before all the expectations come up, before all the I must get dressed, I must get ready, I must get things prepared so that we can get out of the house. Before that happens, slow down, take a moment, take a few minutes, connect with your child, fill them up. I like to think my kids are like little heart piggy banks. Fill them up like at the ATM machine. You fill them up with some nice, yummy connection time in the morning. That might look like picking up your child from bed and opening the window and holding them and just looking outside and saying, oh, good morning to the trees, good morning to the flowers, good morning to everybody while you're holding them, and just like loving that time together. It could be that. That's probably what it would look like for a little baby, like a 6-month-old or an 8-month-old who in the morning has that connection time, but doesn't have that much stamina for it to last too long. Okay, they're like pretty eager to eat already at that age. But when you have an older child, your morning routines can look different. They can look longer. They can be all different kinds. So you might have a 2-year-old that in the morning when they wake up, you have cuddle time. I love this. This is the best. Cuddle time. It's like we talk about this at night before we go to sleep. It's like, sweetie, I'm going to put you to sleep now. It's time for bed. But don't forget what happens in the morning, because in the morning, you get to come to my bed and we're going to cuddle and kiss and hug and tickle and talk about the day before we start the day. And that allows your child to be emotionally full before you expect them to start performing or doing or cooperating. They need to be full. So let's say that was with a 2-year-old. My youngest is 9. I can't believe I'm saying that. I guess the years have passed. My youngest is 9, and we still do a morning routine. And our morning routine, he loves that. It's like we wait for that. We talk about it every night. I always say to him, Daniel, don't forget, where are you going to see me in the morning? And then he's like, you're going to come to my bed and we're going to kiss. And yes, I'm going to come to your bed and we're going to snuggle in the morning, even if sometimes it's only for 3 minutes. But he gets that fill before he goes off for the day. Before he needs to brush his teeth and wash his face and get dressed and do all those things, he gets to get full. And then everything else goes much smoother. And on days when it doesn't happen, I remember that because the dynamics are not as fluid. So it reminds me, don't compromise on the connection ever. Okay? And with my 15-year-old, believe it or not, I still have a morning routine with him. My 15-year-old, his name is Nathaniel. He doesn't get up in the morning, of course, because he's deep into the teenage years. And so I don't want to give up on that morning routine. So when I wake him up in the morning, I sit by his bed and he has this thing. He'll notice that I'm there after I give him a kiss, and then he'll just do this like flip. So he'll flip himself so his back is turned to me, and then I'll go, itch, mom, itch. And then he'll like stick his back out so I can scratch his back like a cat. And he loves that. So I'll scratch his back, and then he'll go up, left, right. And he'll tell me exactly where he wants me to scratch his back. And then, I don't know, a few minutes later, I'll decide it's enough. And because he can go on forever. And then I'll say to him, yeah, Nathaniel, it's time to get up. Let's go. Let's get ready for school. And he's also been full. Sorry, that was not proper English. He's also been filled. Okay? So you want to fill your children. You want to fill them on an emotional level. And the best time to do that is in the morning. And I'm not saying it's the only time. Of course not. But that's the best time because that sets the whole day up for success. So don't compromise on morning routines, guys. They are super, super powerful, important, and yummy. They're yummy. It's just so nice. It's beautiful. You just have to make sure that you have the time. So Now I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, yeah, right, who has the time? We're up all night. Okay, guys, if you're up all night, go grab my free guide. 3 main reasons why your child is still not sleeping through the night, and get your kids sleeping so that you can start looking forward to getting up in the morning, because probably right now you're dreading it, okay? When you sleep well at night and you sleep through the night, then you wanna get up in the morning and you look forward to your child getting up because you wanna connect with them. And that's the beauty of this whole thing. All right, so I hope that sheds some insight on what routines are. They're not a sequence of events. They're powerful moments of connection if you're intentional about it. And let's get intentional about that, because our kids thrive on connection, and so do we. And so it's win-win for everybody. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being with me.